Yesterday we began the second parak of Masech the Kidushin, and it deals primarily the first early sugya with the sugya of shlichus. We saw that we learned out the din of Kidushin from Gittin. By Gittin it says b'shilach, b'shilcha, he can make a shliach, she can make a shilcha, b'shilcha, the shliach can make a shliach. We make a hekesh v'yatzav v'hoisa. We learn that Kidushin from Gittin. By Truma we learn atem gam atem, and by Korban Pesach we learned v'shachtu aso kol al das Yisrael. So we had three sources. We had Kidushin, we had Truma, and we had Korban Pesach. The Gemara concludes that we didn't have to write Truma because you could have learned out Truma from combination of Korban Pesach and Gerushin. And the reason you wrote Atem Gam Atem is Atem Gam Atem is because for to tell me a goy can't be a shliach, or to tell me that you would have a havamina since an apotropis or a shutif cannot be a shliach, and oris you'd have a havamina that by truma a shliach would not work, because we see we're very, very limiting when it comes to who can shade off, who can go ahead and separate. Memela, we needed atem gamatem for that. So that's what we're up to on 1, 2, 3, 4 lines in the bottom. So Haniach Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha, right, who learned shlichus sekachim from the Yishchatu Isai, that we were able to go, right, that we had a source for kachim. El Rabbi Yonasan, the mafik leila hay kroli drash achrina minalan. In other words, the source that Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha learns for shlichus, the source that he uses for shlichus for Korban Pesach, is not available to Rabbi Yonasan, because Rabbi Yonasan is going to use that pasuk for something else. So where does Rabbi Yonasan know shlichus by Korban Pesach? The Tanya. Rabbi Yonasan, I remember, Shekol Yisrael Kula Yotzim bePesach Echad. How do you know that all Yisrael are Yotzim when Pesach? Shenemar, he brings the pasuk. V'shachatu asoi kol kahal adas Yisrael bein abayim. V'chi kol kahal kulam sheichtin. Halo yena sheichet ele echad. Al mikan shekol Yisrael Yotzim bePesach Echad. Right? Shliach b'koshim min olei. Rabbi Yonasan it tells us a big chiddush, fellas. If you look at the top Rashi, Afa pisha ein by kazayis l'chol echad. Even though it's not a kazayis each and every one, the kasav achilas psachim loy ma'akfa elas rikas dam l'chuda. Going back to our kachin days, if I would ask you what is the main part of the korban, you'd all tell me it's the avodas hadam. You would tell me the shchita, kabbalah, ilacha, and the zrika, the korban is then hurtza, the korban is accepted, everything is fine. That's the main part of a korban. Eating the korban is not a main part of the korban, right? Eating the korban is not the main part of the korban. The main part of the korban for a person to be yaitza would be what? The avodas hadam. If you do it shaloi lishma, it's loyal b'am shem chayva. It doesn't work. In other words, that's where it has to take place. There is an exception. That exception is the Korban Pesach. The purpose of the Korban Pesach is the Achilas Korban Pesach. It's not the sprinkling of dam. It's Achilas Korban Pesach. Rabbi Yonasan does not make that distinction. Rabbi Yonasan says even if you can't eat the Korban Pesach, and therefore you could be yaitza, it's possible for one seh to be brought for hundreds and thousands of people, right? And therefore, now therefore, since he uses to teach me this halacha, that even though that it's unnecessary for you to eat the Korban Pesach to be yaitza Korban Pesach, where does he know shlichus from? Mishnah Yeshua ben Karcha, he learned shlichus from this, the fact that one person is bringing for many. But according to him, to learn the halacha that we were all yaitza with one, where do you know shlichus from? And for the Gemara, meaning. After the Gemara from it itself. Why do we learn it? What minei from it itself? Isn't one person bringing for everybody? So good, you're telling me that that you don't have to eat it, but along the way we hear that one person's bringing it as well. So memela, you know, the shlichus works by kachim. So Fred the Gemara kasha, what according to Rabbi Yonasan, where do you know shlichus by kachim? But you learn it from here. The ik is to tell me that one korban we bought for everybody. Toiv, very good. But you also hear that one person is bringing for many. Says my v'dilma shiny hasam this lay shufis begabayo. Oh, maybe there's a big difference over there. You know what? When then one person brings it, you know why he might see everybody? Because he might see himself. In other words, he is chayiv in that korban Pesach. He's a partner along with everybody else. Since he's a partner along with everybody else, then what? Then Here Yaitza. What about shlichus by kachim where he's not a partner? Would you be Yaitza or not? So Dilma Shiny Hasam, this shifus begavayu. So therefore, we need a source for what? For Carbon Pesach. We need a source for kachim according to Rabbi Yonasan. Again, we have a source for Gittin. We have a hekesh from Kidushin to Gittin. We have Truma Atem Gam Atem. We have a source according to Yeshua ben Karcha for Carbon Pesach. We do not have a source for Carbon Pesach according to Rabbi Yonasan. So what is the source according to Rabbi Yonasan? It says the Gemara Elamei Hacha. It says the following pasuk. Dabel kol adas Yisrael leimor be'esel hachodesh hazeh on the 10th day of Nisan v'yichul lehem ish sel lebeis avos sel lebayis. Each person should take a set for his house, for his family, for his house. V'yichul lehem ish sel lebayis beis avos sel lebayis. So that someone is zoicha for everybody else, for everyone in the house. It says well v'dilma hasanami disle shufis begavayu. Right? The chayra, once he's part of the house, so good, you're back to square one. Shlich, we want to know shlichus when you have not any connection whatsoever. Over here, he's connected to it, right? How do you know this? It says, I'll tell you, in Cain, Trey Kroy Lomali. Then you have two psukim. You have a shachtu a so kol kadas al Yisrael. Then you have a yikulam. You have two telling me the same thing. Why do we have a rule of thumb? Im ein linyan kan, tnu l'makam acher. So very geschmack. So you know how Rabbi Yonasan knows that there's a din of shlichus? Because we have two psukim that tell us shlichus by Korban Pesach. By Korban Pesach, both shlichus, he's part of the process. He's acting upon his own behalf. So it's like, why do you need to tell me two psukim? It must be that what if I can't use it for here because I don't need it, I'll use it for makam acher. What's the makam acher? A place of shlichus where he's not a shutif, a place of shlichus where he doesn't have a partnership in it. That will be over. So that's where we know right now. Fred the Gemara, you mean to tell me that it's not?
Laser, can I ask you a question, please? Why can't you say you need the two psukim to teach you that l'chadchila each family should take their own Korban Pesach, but b'diavad you can do a kol kahal dadas Yisrael?
I don't understand.
Yeah, one pasuk is telling you that each family should take.
Again, lichatchila, everyone takes. Doesn't make it. Everyone takes. Everyone takes, right? That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take a Korban Pesach, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a side din that tells me that you're right. That is stated already. Now, what about the din of shlichus?
I understand.
What you just said, Meir, is stated. In other words, Rabbi Yonasan says that you could be Yaitza with one. That's his chiddush, right? Now the second pasuk is speaking what the halacha is. The halacha is lechatchila. Lechatchila is supposed to bring. Everyone's supposed to bring a Korban Pesach. Is mechadish Rabbi Yonasan that among when you do that, guess what? It's possible to go ahead and one person should be. You could be for everybody. Okay. Now. Don't I hear shlichus in both of that? It's the undercurrent, not the halacha that's important over here. It's the undercurrent, and both of them are shlichus. And we're going weiter. So there's shlichus over here by both. So Fred the Gemara, why do you have to tell me shlichus by both? If shlichus is a din in shufis, why do you have to tell me by both? Says the Gemara, no, it must be to teach me that b'makom that there's no shufis, there's still shlichus. Fred the Gemara, I still need it for something else. Ish zoiche, v'leya cotton zoiche, v'yikru lechem ish selabayis. Only an ish can be zoiche for others and bring v'leya cotton zoiche. So therefore, since I need it for that, let's go through the paper trail. Since I need it for that, it's not two people teaching me the same thing, and therefore I only have one pasuk to teach me shlichus, and that one pasuk is speaking me by shutfis. So how do I know shlichus without shutfis? On that, the Gemara answers, "Hahume ish lefi achloi nafka." There's another pasuk. There's a ish lefi achloi. So therefore, I still have the two psukim of shachtu so called kadas Yisrael and v'yicholem ish. I still have those two teaching me shlichus b'shutfis. And since I don't need two psukim to teach me shlichus b'shutfis, one of them we're going to say therefore it must be to teach me shlichus when there's no shutfis, and I know shlichus by kachim. Fred the Gemara v'katimi boile. The sheikhn is a Pesach al hayachid, right? That you can shech the Pesach for one person. It's not extra. You needed to teach me for a singular that you could check for one person. Mela, if it's not extra, I don't have two psukim teach me shutfis, and therefore I do not have a source for carbon pesach. Okay, so very good. It doesn't hold like that. So Mamela, I got two psukim to teach me that shutfis by carbon pesach. Mamela, one is we'll say since they're teaching me the same din, I don't need to know that. I'll know by makam acher in a place where the shlichus without shutfis. How do you know the halacha of shluchas shel adam k'moisai? Shenemar, the pasuk says, "The nasi echad mimate tikulin choles aretz," and each nasi should go, and he would go ahead and give out the various nachlos. He'll be zoichav, and then give over. Typically, the shlichus mehacha. Why don't you go ahead and learn out shlichus over here from Kidushin and Truma and Kachim? Why do you need a pasuk to teach me that shluchas shalom moisei v'nasiyach nasiyav mata? Rav Gidlam Arav is saying, I know shlichus adam shemoisei because the fact that the nasi went ahead and he was acting on behalf of all his constituents, his fellow tribesmen. The nasi was acting on behalf of all his fellow tribesmen to be manchel on the land. Why do I need the pasuk to tell me Rav from there? Why didn't Rav learn it out from Truma, Kachim, and Kidushin? Says V'tizbra, the shlichus who? You're telling me that the din of Nachla works al shlichus? V'ketanim lav b'nei shlichus ninu, ketanim anat b'nei shlichus. Ela kihod the Rabbi Rav Huna Amar Rav Huna Amar Rav Gil Amar Rav Minayin shezach lam shlei b'fanav. So we're not learning at shlichus from nasi echad. We're learning out that zach lam shlei b'fanav, that good a cotton can't appoint the nasi as a shliach, but the nasi does not have to. The nasi can go ahead on behalf of the cotton bizaycha. We had throughout Shas the concept of zach lav mishlei b'fanav, which we met in Masechta Gittin regarding accepting freeing an eved. We had a machlokes zach lav mishlei b'fanav. So does that exist over here? And yeah, it does. V'nasi echad. So therefore, so not a kasha. So I don't know shlichus from there. I know schia from there. Schia is v'tam shlichus. That's beyond the pay grade of the share. The tizbra zechus he a chayv v'nami yeka. What even is a zechus to be zeicha? Maybe it's a chayv. The nichalei lebahar v'nichalei bebika. The guy wants a mountain. He doesn't want a valley. So in other words, v'ika the nichalei bebika v'nichalei bahar. So what do you take for granted? It's a zechus to get a nachla. Maybe you won't be happy with the nachla. So where do you know Zachla Mishlei B'Fanav from? Elokid the Rabbi Rav Huna Amarav Gidol Amarav Minayim Yisayim Shvol Lachla B'Nichsei Aviyen Shebezdim Amidul Apetropis Lachla V'Zakais. How do you know that by Yisayim and Bezdin can go ahead and establish a person with power of attorney to act on behalf of the lashon of Chayv V'Zakais L'Chayv Amai Alocha Manas L'Zakais. No, to Mizakais, if a Chayv comes along the way, it comes along the way. But how do you know they can do that? So therefore, we learn out from there is that Bezdin can go ahead and appoint a shliach, apotropis, and he'll be zoicha. And if it's a chayv, it's a chayv. Bottom line is, we know that we've ascertained three mekaymes for various dinim. We have the din of the shilach v'shilcha by Kidushin. We have the hekesh from Kidushin, the Kidushin v'yatza v'haisa. We have Atam Gamatam by Truma. We have two psukim by Carbon Pesach. According to Rabbi Yeshuv and Karcha, it's for the pasuk v'shachtu zo kol gad as Yisrael. According to Rabbi Yonason, it's a combination v'shachtu ad kol gad as Yisrael and v'yikchu lehem ish sel abayis. So that's what we learned the din of shlichus from. The din of schia we're learning out from the pasuk nasi yachad. That's where we're holding. Rav Nachman, this Gemara seems familiar to you. We did this in three places. We did it in Kesubis, we did it in Yevamis and Gittin. Rav Nachman Am Shmuel, Yisayim Mishabal Lachla b'Nichsei Aviyam. Yisayim the coming to go ahead and to divide up the Nichsei of their father. Each one to Yisayim. So they each one, what do? Mamidim Lahem Apotropis. For each Yasam, you go ahead and give a person a power of attorney. And each apotropis is going to go ahead and choose a chelik yafa for their particular cotton. And if they get older, they're able to go ahead and complain and be mevatel the chalukah. Rav Nachman that was Rav Nachman in the name of Shmuel. So Shmuel says, When they're younger, divide it up. When they get older, they can go ahead and complain that they weren't happy with the chalukah. Rav Nachman Didei Amar imigdilu ein michal meluchos. They can't. Once it's done, it's done. Then came akoyach bezdin yafa. But then what did bezdin do? They set up an apotropis, and now the apotropis is going to go ahead and make a deal. And now, well, that deal is not binding, and it's going to go back. No, so therefore it's binding, and you can't go back. Fred the Gemara umisli Rav Nachman and came akoyach bezdin yafa. The Smashman of Nachman says that you can't go back on the deal. Of a Tanan, Shuma Dayanim. Person owes money, and they're going to go ahead and evaluate his field to go ahead to see how much his field is worth to pay off his debts. So Shuma Dayanim, the evaluation of Dayanim. Now we know there's a din, guys, of Aina. We know there's a din of Aina. Aina means the following: if you go ahead and you overcharge, it's worth more. You set the price at more than a sixth. The mechra, the deal is off. Less than a sixth, the deal is on. Exactly a sixth is the deal is on, and you got to make up the difference. That's only by the metaltalin. It's not by karka. By karka, every piece of land is worth differently, so there's no location. It depends on different things. So there's no din of oina by karka. Anyway, shumadayanim, they go ahead and they evaluate shepichsu shtos, and whatever they evaluated was they missed it by a sixth. Or a siru shtos, so they overcharged. They made it worth more than a sixth. Mechron bottle, then the mechra is bottle. If Shimon Gamliel mechron kayim, it's kayim, right? Dim came akoyach bezdin yafa. V'amar Huna bar Yichinra Rav Nachman. That's the key word. Rav Nachman halacha k'divrei chachamim. The words like the words of the chachamim that says awad makoyach bezdin yafa, right? Rav Nachman says that we don't say makoyach bezdin yafa, right? Halacha is like the chacham that say mechron bottle, so we don't say makoyach bezdin yafa. The Gemara says like kasha, it's not a problem. Where the Bezdin makes a mistake in the evaluation, right? They say more than a sixth, less than a sixth. Rav Nachman says what? We don't say makoyach Bezdin yafa. We say mechkan batal. But when Bezdin goes to hebari apotropos, they don't make a mistake. The loito, they don't make a mistake. Then we say makoyach Bezdin yafa. Fred Gemara idu less to mayichel slamchais. Mashma, the kids, when the division was made, they were happy, or they didn't know better. They got older. They said, 1 second, there was a mistake made. Says of Nachman, you can't say makoyach bezdin yafa. You say makoyach bezdin yafa. But 1 second, if you tell me when they didn't make a mistake, only when you don't make a mistake, so what? Notice, why are they complaining? What's the complaint over here? If Bezdin didn't make a mistake, and the biggest raya they didn't make a mistake is because Rav Nachman says you don't say, is because you say makoyach bezdin yafa. What was the possible mistake that the Yisraelim would not be happy with their relative lot? So the Gemara answers, you know what? I have a field in the north. You gave me a field in the south. If you would have given me a field in the north, I would have a double field. I would have two fields together. But now that you gave me a field in the south, it's best than to make a mistake. Everything is worth what it's worth. But over here, when you went ahead and you messed it up, in terms of me, that you can't go back on the deal. We don't say, we say makoyach bezdin yafa. Even so, notice there wasn't a mistake. It was like it would have been advantageous. The guy's complaining would have been advantageous for him. Okay. Rav Nachman, ha'achin shecholku, brothers that are dividing up, they're like lekuchos. We always have this in the sugi of Breira. If they're Yarshim, we say whatever, it becomes clear retroactively which one was theirs, and therefore when it comes Yovel, they don't have to go ahead and give it back to each other. And Lekuchos, no, we don't say Breira, and we say that they bought from each other, and then they have to go ahead and Yovel to go ahead and do it. Pachas mishtus nikna. Less than a shtus, it's a good deal. Nikna mechach. Yes, al shtus, more than a sixth, batal mechach. It's the deal's off. Shtus, a sixth exactly. Kano umaxo ayna. That's the din of ayna. Now that's only by metalton. Amarava hadamar and pachas mishtus nikna mechach le'amarin el b'leishav shliach. If you didn't make him a shliach, al shav shliach. If you made a shliach and the shliach blew it and it was less than a sixth, then you can go ahead and say the deal is still not bottled. Because you say to the shliach, I sent you to go ahead and for the right reason to be attacking me. I didn't go ahead and send that I should lose money. So therefore, after we say that if it's less than a shtus, the deal is still on, is only if he himself did it. Masha'en came, because he could be Michael that. Hashem came as a shliach, he can't be Michael because he can taina to the shliach, I sent you for my goodness, not to mess me up. Now the next thing, more than a shtus the mekach is batal. You didn't say that Bezdin should go ahead and evaluate. We should divide based upon the shuma of Bezdin, even in that case where it's more than a shtus, mechron kayim. That nan shuma dayonim she pichsu shtus ay hoisiru shtus mechron batal. Shem gam li'aloyma ki mechron kayim, mechron is kayim, and we're going to pass like of Shimon ben Gamliel. So v'hod amor in shtus kano mechsano, the middle din that the shtus is kaina and you return the aino le'amor no ben metaltalin. There's no din of by karkos. Okay, so we have each din. The din of less than a shtus that you said that mechel's on, that's provided it's not a shliach. The din that we said that more than a shtus mechel is batal, that's only there wasn't shum dayanim. Shum dayanim would still be on. And the middle din that if it's a shtus exactly that the deal is on and you return the sixth difference is only by metaltalin, it's only by what? By movable objects, but by karka, the din will not apply because there's no din of by karka, there's no din of aina. And even ubekakole amaron that there's no din of aina el the polog bilavia if you based upon value, because value is relative. Aval polog b'mishchasa loy. But if you went ahead and evaluated with a rope, in other words, you measure things and you expect things to be very much exact, and you expect you expect things to go ahead and be very, very much exact. You divided the karka again with a rope with a measurement like, then even if you made a mistake less than a sixth, the mecha is going to be batal. Even if you make a less than a sixth. Usually, when you say less than a six, it goes on, then it's not going to be kid rabba. Dama rabba, kol dav shebemida u'shemishkol sheminyan afilu pachas medei oina nami chayzer. Okay, so guys, so watch. This din of pachos and yoser applies to karka as well. That applies across the board. When we say ein oina lekarkois, it means the middle din. It means the din of if it's a shtus, then you go ahead, the deal is on, and you return the shtus. So now we're qualifying it. You're telling me that less than a shtus that the mechawat is on. It's not true. That's only if it came through evaluation. But if it was done through measurement, where you expect it to be exact, I'm not being moichel when it's being weighed. In other words, you have a six less than an ounce, a six less than a pound. You're measuring on the scale. You want to pay. You're paying for something, and you could be exact over there. So if the karka was measured off with a device that would give you demarcate the exact location, then what then I expect it to be on. So therefore, in that case, we wouldn't say that less than a shtus, it'll be on, it would still be on. The Amar Rabba called Davish of Milah Rishamilah, I feel Nami Chayza. Okay, well, just give me 2 seconds. Okay. Now we have a rule in Shas that ain't shlich l'dvar avera. Ain't shlich l'dvar avera. In other words, if you send someone to kill somebody, you hire a hitman, and the hitman kills somebody, he's chayiv. He's chayiv. You made him a shliach. Divrei Rav, the Divrei Talmud, Divrei Mishomim. The words of the Rav, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, the word of the Talmud, the one who hired you says to kill. Divrei Mishomim. Rhetorically, who do we listen to? So we have a rule of thumb, ain't shlich l'dvar avera, but there are 3 exceptions. There are 3 exceptions, and we're going to meet these exceptions today. I can Baruch his day in the sun. He's been waiting for this. Baruch, give me all 3. Go ahead.
Mila, shlichus yad, dal v'hei.
You got it. Mila, shlichus yad, dal v'hei. It's impressive. Those are 3 places, and we'll see them inside today. Says the Gemara Vaita. Someone sends a fire, he's Pater Medina Yadam, he didn't like the fire, he caused it. We'll get to this in Baba Kama, the 6th parak. Shilach biyad pikeach, if he sends the fire in the hands of a normal individual, pikeach chayev, the pikeach is chayev. Name a shlucha shalom kimoso, Why don't we say the shliach of a person is like himself? So therefore, the person who sent him should be chayiv. Shani hasan dein shliach levar aveira. Darminan divrei Rav v'divrei Talmud divrei Misham. And rhetorically, Fred the Gemara, you're telling me divrei Rav v'divrei Talmud divrei Mishamim. I v'hatanan, right? The tanan shliach shaloi asa shlichusai. Let's say I have money, and that money is kodesh money, but I mistakenly think it's chayil money. I send the guy to the store to buy a bag of charcoal briquettes. He comes back with wooden pellets. He's moil. Why? He didn't listen. No. Yeah, he didn't listen to what I wanted. I wanted charcoals, and he said briquettes. So that's not. So in other words, he was moil from Hegdish. He took the money. It now switched locations, going from Hegdish to Choyel to the person who sold him the wooden pellets. Since that's not what I wanted, he is moil. However, shliach she'osa shlichusai, shliach shlichusai, if he buys the briquettes, balabayas moil, then I'm moil. He shlichusai the balabayas mia moil amai. Name ain't shliach devar aveira. Why don't we say ain't shliach devar aveira? In other words, the davera here is using money of Hegdish. So why, if he does the shlichus, am I moil? So you see over here, yesh shliach devar aveira, because I'm sending him and I'm chayiv. Shayne meila the yolfa chet mitruma. One of the more famous, because we've had three of the most famous ones, guys. We had lo meisha. We had Dava Mimamin, and now we're meeting Chet Mitruma for Me'ila. So we know there's a din of Shlichus what by Truma, who what din there's a Shlichus by Me'ila. And that Shlichus tells me there is a Shlich of Varavera. You're sending someone to be Mile, you're Mile. Chet Mitruma, Ma Truma, Masha Shliach, Ach Mila Masha Shliach. Okay? So, Fred the Gemara Kasha, you want to tell me that ain't Shliach of Varavera. Therefore, if you send a fire, biyad pikeach, the pikeach is chayiv, using the svara, that ain't shlich levar aveira. We see by meila, if I send him to buy briquettes using kodesh money, he buys briquettes, I am oil. Fred the Gemara, v'neilef mina, let's learn out from meila that yesh shliach levar aveira. Even in svara, you're all sitting there saying, 1 second, divrei Rav, divrei Talmud, divrei Mishomim. But once we've established the possibility exists for shlichus to do an aveira, so why don't we say yesh shliach levar aveira? V'neilef mina, let's learn out from meila. Says mishum dahavi meila v'shlichas yad shnei kesuvim habayim ke'echad. By now you should all be experts in this, right? In other words, it's not unique. It's not the only place we say yesh shliach levar aveira. There's another place. Now, if you would learn from it, you'd only say it once, and then you learn all over from it. Why are you saying a second time? To teach me, I'm limiting it to these two locales. Only these two places is yesh shliach levar aveira. What are they? Meila and shlichus yad. And therefore, no place. Now what shlichus yad, fellas? Outside. You are a shoyma chinam. You are chayiv on this. Guys, remember that from the early days. You're chayiv b'pshia. You're chayiv for negligence. You're pata for geneva, v'aveda, oinus, all of it. If you go ahead and shaleach yad to take this thing, you up your ante. No longer are you pata from geneva, v'aveda. You're even chayiv b'oinus. So shlichas yad, sending out your hand in a pikadon, in an object that you've been trusted to watch, you can up the ante to the highest level b'abein shaleach yad. And in fact, when you make a shvuas hashayimim, one of the shvuas you make is shaleach bayad. If you send a shliach and that shliach is shaleach bayad, you become chayiv linyan oinsin mamish. Just like you send a shliach for the briquettes, you become you're chayiv for meila. Who adin if you send a shliach to be shaleach yad and he does it, you are chayiv oinsin. Says the Gemara. So therefore, I cannot learn out the kol Torah kula that yesh shliach levar aveira because I have two places to teach me not like that. No. Meila hod amaron. Meila just said chet mitruma. Shlichus yad maihi. Where do you see shlichus yad that yesh shliach levar aveira? The Tanya. It says the pasuk says in the Pasha of Shoimrim, Al kol devar pesha, al shor al chamor al se al salma, on a shor sinish and a salma is the garment. Al kol aveda sheyomar ki huzeh, Ada Elokim until the dayan yavi devar shneim asher yashinu lehim yishalem shnayim layehu. Whoever he finds guilty should go to his friend. So this is the Pasha of Shmira. Al kol devar pesha beishama yoimim lechayev ala machshava. That even if you think to be shaleach yad yechayev, even if you just think to be shaleach yad without physically doing, you be chayev. Kemaisa. Besil loimim ein chayev at sheyishalach bayad. The mamish have to go ahead and actively take it. Shnemar im loy sholach yad of mechas rayel. Only if you don't sholach yad. Mashma you have to be sholach yad mamish. Omen beishamel beisilo. V'loy nemer al kol devar pesha. Guys, devar is mashma dibur. That just the dibur you be chayev. Even without a ma'isa, you be chayev for shlichus yad. So Omen lehem beishilo beishamai. V'loy nemer im loy sholach yad of mechas rayel. So Omen beishamel beisilo im kein al kol devar pesha lamali. Shiachol. How do you know if you send shliach that also you be chayev? Guys, this is what we need. How do you know if you tell an eved or a shliach to be shaleach yad you be chayev? Tamid loymar al kol devar pesha on anything. Good. So now we have shnei kesuim ban kecha. You want to know why we don't say b'kol Torah kula yesh shliach devar aveira? Because the only two places we find yesh shliach devar aveira is by shlichus yad and by meila. The chol shnei kesuma ban kechane malamdim. Now this works out according to Beis Hillel. It says Beis Hillel that yesh shliach devar aveira. El Beis Shammai that uses a kol devar pesha to tell me yechayev afilu b'dibur b'machshava ma'ik lemeimar. Right? Mikamaisa neilef minei mem gimel. Let's learn out yesh shliach devar aveira like Beis Shammai because you don't have shnei kesuvim, guys. Shnei Kesum is only according to Beis Hillel. Like Beis Shammai, you do not have a source for Yesh Shliach Devar Aveira because he uses the Akol Devar Pesha to teach me the Machshava. So like him, how do you know Ein Shliach Devar Aveira? Says the Gemara Mishum Dehavei Meila Utficha Mechira Shnei Kesum Banka Echad. You have Meila and Tficha Mechira Shnei Kesum Banka Echad. There's a portion in the Torah, fellas, that if a person goes ahead and steals, if a man steals a shara seh, and after stealing it, consequently he shechs or sells it. And as we're going to see in a minute, if he sends the shliach to do it, he's chayev. We learned 4 lines down. Where do you see that yesh shliach devar aveira by tficha mechira? Amakra utfachoy umecharoi. Ma mechira al yedei acher. Just like mechira is to another individual, af tficha al yedei acher. So too what? Tficha will be al yedei acher. Good. Rabbi Yishmael loy metana oy tfachoy oy mecharoi l'Rabbis is a shliach. Rabbi Chizkiya tana tachas. Right. It says the word. Yishalim tachas hashor. The word tachas hashor l'Rabbis is a shliach. Good. So very good. So now, according to Beis Hillel, Beis Shammai, the Shnei Kesuvim Abayin Ke'echad are Meila and Daled V'Hei. So again, we have a sugya. Let's go through the sugya. We have the sugya of shlichus. What's the sugya of shlichus? We have a source for gittin, the shilach, a source for Kidushin, the yotza v'hoiso v'makash v'ayil. We have a source for Korban Pesach, Machloikis, according to Rabbi Shua and Korcha, Rabbi Yonason, whether the pasuk is v'shachatu or the pasuk is v'yikach ish. We have a sugya. All those dinim. We have a sugya those dinim. We also have a sugya of Ein Shliach Devar Aveira, except 3 places. The 3 places we have are Meila, Shlichus Yad, and Daled V'Hei. Loit Beis Hillel. The reason we don't learn on Kol Torah Kula is because Shnei Kesum Ban Ke'echad. One of the Shnei Kesum Ban Ke'echad is Meila and Shlichus Yad. According to Beis Shammai, that you don't have Shlichus Yad, you have Daled V'Hei. So therefore, we say Ein Shliach Devar Aveira by Daled V'Hei. We say Ein Shliach Devar Aveira by Daled V'Hei. And we have everyone seems across the board to see Daled V'Hei, the source where you learn it from, whether you learn it from Tzficha al Yedei Acher, or Mechira al Yedei Acher, or from the Lashon of extra the Oy, or you learn it from Tachas. Now, it says the Gemara, okay? So Bez Hashem, we're going to pick it up here. Motzei Shabbos. We're going to pick it up here Motzei Shabbos. Everyone should have a Gemach Chasim Tova. I wish mechila from everyone for any, if I, Mayor particularly, if I was too rough on him, Heshi, too rough on, Pinny, if you'd be around more often, I could be Michael him more often. But again, for everybody, I thank you for enhancing my life so much, fellas. I really do. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's such a schus to be able to share Torah every single day, whichever the venue, and do what Hashem wants. Because at least for 35 to 40 minutes a day, none of us are getting into trouble.
The
schus is mine. I had to get beaten up.
Because
if they, you know what they say, if they don't make fun of you, they don't love. And if they don't beat you up, they don't love. So that's what I like to say.
So the Jets love me, huh?
Last week in the Gemara.
You must be loved more than anything, Rabbi.
Gotta get Nolam Hazeh.
And just for the record, did you explain what you're wearing on your head?
Yes. For the record, it's the following. On Yom Kippur, there's an Indian of wearing white. So my son Moshe was wearing a white yarmulke. So I said, I'll do you one more. So this is a yarmulke from the Hasidim of Toilus Ari that my wife bought for me. And I've been wearing a yellow one for like 40 years. And she bought me this year a white one. So on Yom Kippur, you're supposed to be white. Now Moshe did up me because he's wearing a total white suit that says good humor man over here.
Did he get it from Nehru?
No, this one is normal. It doesn't have the buttons going up. But so when I said I'll up you one, he stood up and I folded. That was it. When he was totally in white, it was all over.